Hello, hello. It's Tammy with Cinematic Skeins. This is episode, I don't know. Whatever. It's episode number something something. And we'll leave it at that because we'll just call this the Yarn Crawl episode or the pre-Yarn Crawl episode. Yes, something like that. I thought maybe you guys would want to see the yarn that I'm taking to the yarn crawl because, you know, if it doesn't sell, which I hope doesn't happen, because I'm kind of relying on this to tell me if this is something I'm going to keep doing. Because I like dyeing yarn. I do. I don't know if I like doing it for trunk shows because I feel like I was rushed. I wasn't really like, I wasn't rushed, but I feel like, I don't know, like the way that I normally dye, I get random ideas pop into my head and I'm like, I'm gonna go dye that right now. And with the yarn crawl thing, I feel like I was like trying to come up with colorways instead of just letting them come naturally, if that makes any kind of sense. I don't know. But anyway, I've decided that, with the whole yarn crawl thing, if I go and I don't sell at least half of this yarn, I'm just gonna go back to dyeing for fun. Could y'all stop? Go outside. Sorry, they were, oh my god, I gave Theo a squirrel stuffy yesterday. It was like this big, and it's one of his favorite toys, because I put all the stuffies away when I got Benton, because he was toy possessive when I first got him, and Benny came inside, stole the squirrel, and I tried to wrestle it back from him. That is the strongest dog I've ever met in my life. Like, I could not pry his jaws apart. Like, he would not let go of the stuffy. And, normally dog toys, I would just be like, all right, Benny, whatever, you can play with it. But Benny doesn't know how to play with stuffies. He wants to eat them, and it's bad for dogs to eat stuffies. But anyway. Random tangent. Welcome! If you're new here, this is what I do. Things pop into my head, and I go on little tangents. That's how I dye. Things pop into my head, and I'm like, I'm going to go do that right now before it goes away. Because that happens. And I bought a notebook so I could start like writing things down. I even kept a notebook. I bought a notebook to put in my nightstand because sometimes like I wake up and like I had like a weird dream or something because I dream in color. And I'm like, this would be a really cool like yarn dyeing thing. I must write it down. Do I ever write it down? I will admit, I did write down, what was I watching? I was having a Vincent Price marathon, as I tend to do, and I wrote down a bunch of colorways I would want to do for Vincent Price. Because I'm still thinking about doing a Halloween advent. I know a lot of people are like already selling their advents, like for Halloween right now. No. Like, I want to do one, but I don't know yet. Like, I want to dye the yarn. Like, I want the ideas to pop in, and then I'll dye the yarn. And then I'll announce the advent because the yarn will already be dyed and separated and boxed up, and then I can be like, hey, I got this stuff. But again, that is tied to how this yarn crawl thing goes, because I'm a pessimist. So if this all goes really badly, it's gonna really kill my confidence in this. Not knitting. Like, I'm good with knitting. I'm going to keep doing that. But yarn dyeing. Because I like doing it, but maybe I should just do it for myself. Like, if nobody else is interested in my stuff. Like, you guys have been very enthusiastic and, supportive with the whole yarn dyeing thing. But I'm still kind of in my head about it. And I'm in my head even more now because I've been looking at other yarn dyers that are participating. Because I got to figure out where I'm shopping. And I don't feel like I'm as good as they are. I know there's a lot of techniques I don't quite have down yet, and like some of the color combinations, I'm like, how did they think of that? And I just, because of the way my brain works, I dye based on what pops into my head. I don't think about like how it knits up. I'm just like, oh, this color combination's pretty. I don't know. I don't know. I got really down on myself with the yarn dyeing thing, like almost to the point of wanting to pull out of the yarn crawl, but I signed an agreement, so I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I'm in my head about it right now, and I'm just ready for the yarn crawl to be over. That was a lot. That was a lot. I'm sorry. That was a lot. But let me show you all the, point being, I was going to show you guys the yarn. And I bought a new base. I told you guys I wanted to try 8515. Well, I found 8515, not in the US, but that's okay. They shipped really fast. I went through, normally I buy my yarn from Wool to Dye For, but I went to Yarn Undyed this time because they had 8515. And they had 8515 with biodegradable nylon, which I feel like is a good thing. So I dyed a new base. This is Within Cells Interlinked. If you've seen Blade Runner 2049, that makes sense. But I was just pouring colors together just to see what happened. So yeah, this is that. Bought some new dyes to play with, and I dyed this, and it's still wet, obviously, so I couldn't bring it to show you guys, but I think that's the last colorway I'm dyeing for the yarn crawl. I'm so anxious about this. But anyway, this is my 8515, and I think this is going to be a keeper. Because it's so squishy soft. And you know, like most of the yarn I get from like the clubs and stuff is 8515, and I like the way it feels. I haven't technically knit with any of it yet, but I love the way it's so soft. It's so soft, you guys. I should stop rubbing this on myself because I'm gonna sell it. That sounds dirty. Anyway, so 8515. So if I do continue dyeing, I'm thinking I'm going to buy more of this. But I wanted to ask you guys, if I continue this adventure. I'm in my head, you guys. What bases do you prefer? I do have some 100% merino that I haven't dyed yet, because one of the things I was considering doing with Cinematic Skeins is making it like a monthly thing, like themes. So like with my whole Vincent Price marathon thing, like this month is Vincent Price month. These are the yarns I dyed this month. Boom. I also considered making it only doing sock sets. But I kind of want to dye, like now I kind of want to dye different bases just to play around. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. I should stop talking about it because I'm getting really in my head. But I do want to show you all the yarn. So let's do that. This is We Are Going to Steal the Moon. Despicable Me. What does he do? No, he does this. Grew? Okay. Anyway. So it's this is 80-20. Yes, 80-20. So this one is the like moon colorway, and then this is a sparkly night colorway. I haven't named these separately, I just named the set. So yes, we are going to steal the moon. Okay. This was an accident, but it is the Great Pumpkin. It was supposed to be peach, because I was dyeing for James in the Giant Peach, but I didn't use enough pink, I don't think. I mean, it does lean peach, but I didn't think people would get it, so it's the Great Pumpkin. This one I haven't named yet. I'm having a struggle with it. I showed this the other last episode, I think, but I haven't named it yet, and I don't know what to name it. I haven't named this one. I showed this last episode too. There's only two. There's only 2 of these, and then there's 4 of these. Is that it for this bucket? Yes. I have, in case y'all haven't seen, all of that left to twist up. Yeah, if I keep yarn dyeing, I'm buying one of those twister things. Or somebody's got to tell me how to do the thing with the drill. Because I don't like twisting yarn. I've learned that about myself. I don't like it. Let's see. I'm going to sell my last 2 skeins of Yarnaceous. This I dyed based on a Dune fan art poster. This is the Rainbow Connection sock set in the white. This is the Rainbow Connection sock set in the silver. I think I showed you guys I was trying to over dye it, the Rainbow Connection sock set, and it was like a dark, dark gray. I'm keeping that for myself, so this one's just a silvery gray. This is one of a kind. This is a one of a kind. I ran out of stickers, so I've got to go get printer ink so I can print labels. Because I have these really cool like movie ticket stickers. Can you see it? It's like a movie ticket, and I have the bases on there. But I didn't order a lot of them because this was not planned. So yeah. This is Close Encounters, which you guys have seen, but this is full skeins. Midsummer. It's not as blown out as the last time I showed it. Fern Gully. This is the one I mentioned that I thought I added too much blue. I did. But yeah, Fern Gully. And the reason it sucks that I added too much blue is it looks very similar to Shape of Water. Like Shape of Water is darker, but it's a similar blend. They look good together. Valley Girl. Nicolas Cage. What else? What else? What else? And then the rest of these I think you guys have seen before, but I don't think you knew the names of them. Krull. One of my favorite 80s movies. The North Wind, which was my, no, I didn't mean to snap my fingers. I didn't mean to snap my fingers. This is my East of the Sun, West of the Moon colorway, which I'm thinking about doing a whole thing with that, like, kind of like my theme months, thinking about doing a whole, like, all of the pictures in that book, dying for all of them. I don't know. Amity Island, which you guys have seen. Yeah, this bucket is the stuff that you guys have already seen. Vermithrax. That probably sounds really funny if you are not obsessed with dragons. Vermithrax is the name of the dragon in Dragon Slayer. And if you're like super nerd about movie stuff, in Game of Thrones, when they're talking about the various dragons, one of them is Vermithrax because George R.R. Martin liked the movie Dragon Slayer and threw that in there as a little Easter egg. Fantastic Planet. Did that come out in the 70s or the 80s? I don't know, but I was really like into that. And I haven't watched it in years. I think it's streaming on one of the networks. Should watch it. You guys have seen this. I decided to name it Tree of Souls, which is not a favorite movie of mine, but Avatar. It was fine when it came out. And I wonder, are they still working on a sequel for that? Because I feel like it's a little bit late. And I finally came up with a name for this because I was staring at it, and then I was feeling down, and when I feel down, I watch movies that I love. So I was watching Neverending Story and Mirrorgate. This looks like these are the colors that show up when Atreyu gets to the Mirror Gate, because there's the haze in the sky and then the Mirror Gate itself. So, Mirror Gate. Then I haven't twisted this up yet. This is, I'm right on top of that rose because it's a rose color. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. That's what that's from. And then this green blue speckle. I wanted to do something for Earth Day. I should have put in more green because it mostly just looks blue. And it's blowing out because of all the white. But not any papers. I see this book. But yeah, it's just a bunch of blue speckle. I haven't named this yet either. But it's going with me in the yarn crawl, I tell you. And then I have some minis in different colors. And this one of a kind. It's one of my yarn mops. It's not quite bubblegum pink. It's a lot paler than that. And it's got like blue speckles and gray speckles. I don't know. I think it's kind of cute, even though it's pink. It's more of a baby pink than a cotton candy pink. But again, that was a yarn mop. And I think this red, I think I finally found a red that doesn't suck, y'all. I bought like, if you guys saw my Instagram, I have like, what, 6 or 7 different reds now. This one is Dharma Poinsettia, and I mixed it with some other colors to get like a deeper red, but it didn't bleed. And every single thing I've dyed with all my other reds, even if it's just like a little bit like this is, bled. And honestly, this skein is not the best representation of this color because this one has a ton of red and the rest don't. So I'm setting this one aside for me because all the other ones look similar and this one just has a big chunk of red for no reason. It's because I didn't flip my yarn. But yeah, so that's what I'm taking to the yarn crawl. It's not a ton. There are 4 skeins for each colorway. For North Wind, there are 6. Because I was going to keep one for myself, or a couple for myself, but I've decided I want to tweak this colorway, so I'm just going to go ahead and see if anybody's interested in them. So there's a sweater quantity of the North Wind. But I mean, it's all fingering weight. So, I mean, technically, it doesn't take that much fingering weight to make a sweater. So all of it's really 4 skeins of fingering weight's a sweater. I think. Yes, 4 skeins of fingering weight's a sweater. So yeah. Oh, and tweed. I haven't named this yet either. It's just gonna... I still have a 10-pack of rainbow tweed DK. I'm hoping I meet another dyer at some point that is interested in a 10-pack of multicolored DK because I'm not going to dye it. I don't want to. I don't want to. Anyway, so yeah, that's all the yarn I'm taking to the yarn crawl. And I'm showing it to you guys now because if it doesn't sell, I'm going to post it somewhere if somebody else wants to get it, like buy it or whatever. Oh, and I dyed this one of a kind too. It's sparkly. I haven't, like, I was originally going to post everything on Etsy after the yarn crawl, like the leftovers, but now I'm like, the whole like Etsy boycott that was going on this week, I'm like, should I not sell on Etsy? Like, should I get Shopify? Like, I don't know. Because then I feel like Shopify, I'd have to be more tech savvy than I am to create a website. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just like post a bunch of pictures on Instagram. Because you know how Aro Knits and Pearls, she has like a RO D-stash. I was going to create a Cinematic Skeins D-stash, just FYI, like she does on Instagram. So she posts all the pictures of the yarn that she's D-stashing, and then like first comment gets an invoice, and then like a PayPal invoice or something, and then, you know, you have 24 hours to pay or whatever. I was thinking about doing that for D-stash purposes, or for this, because then I don't have to worry about Etsy fees or techie stuff with setting up Shopify. I don't know. It was a thought. Because I'm not gonna use all this yarn. I know I'm not gonna use this. This is not me. I would probably use Mirrorgate. Yeah, Mirrorgate, Vermithrax, the blues and greens. I would use those. A lot of these warmer colors I dyed specifically for the Yarn Co, like that yellow. So it's so bright. It's so bright. It's pretty. It's bright. I would never wear it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's yarn crawl stuff. That was a lot. That's 20 minutes. I'm gonna take a break. I need some water. Okay. Sorry. Thirsty. All right. Go away. 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 Sorry. Okay, so yarn crawl stuff, discussion over. Next episode will be 2 weeks, which will be after the yarn crawl, because it's next week. Anyway, let's do acquisitions. Can y'all go somewhere? Oh, look at that face. What is with that face? Oh, the face. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I went to get water, and then Theo was like whining to get up here, and all this yarn was in his way, so now it's all over here, so I have like mountain of yarn. Look at that. Mountain of yarn. I've got to go through all of it, make sure there's no dog hair on it. That's the other thing I need to do. I need to buy a bin to put my yarn in because there's dog hair all over the car. I'm going to vacuum it, but I take my dogs everywhere, so I want to make sure I don't have dog hair on the yarn when I take it to the yarn girl. So I'm going to vacuum the car and, you know, put the yarn in a bin, closed bin. Anyway, yes. Okay. Knitting. I just have the one thing. It's going to be this sweater. It's my Farmhouse Cardi. I made it way longer than you were supposed to, because tall. So last time y'all saw it, it was there, which was the spot where technically I was supposed to stop and start the ribbing. I kept going until my skein ran out. So I am out of the main color, and I only have like maybe 3 rows left of the sport bait color, the stripe, which I wasn't supposed to do, because the ribbing, when you do the bind off, you're supposed to use the main color. It's like a little feature. And I messed up my sleeves, and I knew it when I did it, and I just kept going because I was just in that frame of mind. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough yarn to fix them. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. But anyway, let me show you what I did. So one, I made this way longer than I was supposed to. So I ran out of main color, so I couldn't do the bind off in the main color, but I had yarn left over from my Avena sweater, which is a very similar gray, so I used that. I don't know if you can see it. So I used that to do the tubular bind off, which if you follow me on Instagram, I was complaining about. 1, tubular bind offs are tedious. 2, what is the point of 2x2 ribbing if you have to convert it to 1x1 ribbing to do a bind off? Why isn't there a 2x2 bind off? Like, I don't know. I was bothered. But it didn't take as long as I expected it to. I thought it would be fluffier. Maybe if I had done more rows or more setup rows before I bound off. I don't know. But now I'm working on all of this, like the big flappy part. So that's all I've got done so far. I just started that yesterday. But yeah, here's why I'm not happy with the sleeves. I did not follow the pattern on the decreases. After I passed the elbow, I started doing like a rapid decrease because I felt like the sleeves were too big. And now I feel like I don't like the way that it does this weird curvy thing. So I want to take it out and just let them go straight. But I don't know if I have enough yarn to do that, because I'm going to need more yardage to go like that much to knit this much. I don't know. So we'll see. I am going to frog back 6 inches and attempt to fix the sleeves. And then maybe if I don't have enough yarn, I'll do more in this color, because I did make my sleeves rather long because tall. So 6 feet tall, in case y'all, have I ever told y'all that I'm 6 feet tall? Tall. It's a problem. It's one of the reasons I wanted to learn how to make my own sweaters, because they're never long enough. I did talk about that. Okay, yeah. I also modified the pattern, and I put in pocketses. I got pocketses, y'all. Pockets. I was so proud of myself when I made these, because I'd never done pockets before in my life. Yay, I had pockets. And it looks like, it's weird because the way they lay, it looks like I've like sewed them on here, and I did, but I sewed them on this side. But it looks like they're sewn on this side. They kind of stick out. Is that normal? It's probably normal. I don't know. But yeah, they're not as neat as I would like, because I'm pretty sure I screwed up like which line I was following when I was sewing them, but I was also on a conference call and trying to pay attention to that at the time. Multitasking is not my forte. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm thinking this may be finished next episode. It should be finished next episode, because like I did all of this ribbing in one night because I couldn't sleep, and I dyed this and I knit this because I couldn't sleep. Been a while since I had an attack of insomnia, but I think it's because I'm going off my meds. TMI. I don't have kids because I have massive fibroids taking up all the space in my uterus. That, and I've been single since like 2002. But I normally have multiple forms of hormone therapy to help alleviate the pain and the anemia that they cause, and we took me off of one of them because like the insurance company is now charging like $200 per refill for the pill. And it's like, I know y'all are trying to punish women for birth control and all, but I'm using it as fibroid therapy. It's not just for birth control, people. Why are y'all punishing me? Like, but anyway, I can afford $200 a month, fortunately, but I don't want to. So I'd rather buy yarn. So we're taking me off one of those medications and seeing if I can cope with the symptoms. But while my hormones are all like, woo, I can't sleep. But yeah. So TMI, I'm sorry. But I'm going to be like mentally like all over the place because not sleeping, can't think straight anyway. But that's a little background of why I'm a little bit more crazy right now. And the doc said it'd be about 3 months while my body like figured out what's going on. So it has begun. Anyway, this is gonna be the longest episode. So long. And I have stuff to do. Yes. Let's do, alright. Because I know I'm rambling already. And some of y'all are probably here for the giveaway of the Tunisian crochet stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll do my acquisitions, which is like a handful of yarn. It's not a lot. But I talk. So, alright, let's do this. This is for the Tunisian crochet Tony Lipsy book yarn and interchangeable Tunisian crochet hooks. Did I put anything else in there? Did I? I don't think I did. I think that was it. I think that was it. One. Okay. I don't know why I cut these so small. So small. What was I thinking? Jesus. Helen Inn. You see it? I was told I should start showing names of people that win stuff to prove that that's who I drew. I'm an honest person, you guys. I wouldn't cheat y'all. And it's free stuff. Come on. But anyway, Helen Inn. Send an email, cinematicskeins@gmail.com with your shipping information, and I will ship the Tunisian crochet stuff out to you. And I don't know if I ever mentioned it in the videos where I talked about it, but the book is actually signed by Tony Lipsy, if that means anything to you guys. So, yeah. Helen Inn. Like repeating your name to get it in my head in case I lose that tiny, tiny piece of paper. I've already dropped it, and I think it's in my yarn bin. I can rewatch the video. Helen. Okay. Acquisitions. Here we go. Went to U2 Yarn, and I'm going there again today. Hear me out. They dye a lot of neutral toned yarn, like they're hand dyed. And I like U2 Yarn's yarn, as y'all well know, because y'all saw the snake sweater, and I was in love with that yarn. But because the yarn crawl's coming up, they've dyed a ton of colors, so the wall is full. So I'm gonna go check it out because, you know, they don't repeat their colorways. There is a Fossil Frenzy tee that I'm obsessed with and cannot wait to knit. I was gonna apply to be a test knitter, but I was so focused on doing my Farmhouse Cardi, I knew I wouldn't meet the deadline, so I didn't do it. It filled up really fast. I probably wouldn't have gotten it anyway because I'm a new knitter who gives test knits to new knitters. But anyway, so I'm so excited for this tee. I cannot wait to knit it. And everybody's knitting it, and just like the way that it's designed, like you can see it in the picture, but it's like the collar ribbing and the dinosaurs are in one color and the rest of the sweater's in another color. Here's what I'm thinking. Fossils are found in stratified rock, so I'm gonna do a fade with the dinosaurs. So I was trying to find more yarn from a fade, and I wanted it in like earthy, like greens and grays and dark browns. There's that one yarn from U2 Yarn where I had like 4 skeins of it that I bought at the last yarn crawl, and I'm like obsessed with it and didn't know what to do with it. I'm gonna use it for this because it's perfect. It's got greens and browns and grays, but I wanted to get like a green to go in it, and then some darker grays so the dinosaur bones would stand out amongst the darker gray. Anyway, that's my plan. That's my plan. I might change my mind because that happens. But I bought this green, long story short, and it's got like gray in it. So it's greens and grays. I think it's really pretty. So this will be this, and then that other color is like a darker green with grays in it, so it'll fade into that. And then I have greenish, like an army green that's, what's the word, glazed in black. And I'm going to do that layer, and that layer is the one I'm going to have the dinosaurs in. I'm going to do the bones in silver, and then it's going to fade into like a blackish gray or green. I don't know. I want to go look around and see if I can find colors that pair well with the yarns I want to use. Because maybe I won't use this. Maybe I'll use a darker green. I don't know. I want to go look. That's a lot. Then I bought this. Look, can you feel the squish through the screen? It's so squishy. But anyway, this is just $75.25. This is mine, and I want to put it with the yarn crawl stuff. But I'm gonna rebin it anyway. It's okay. It's so squishy. It's so squishy. Oh, okay. This one is. Oh, this is fancy. Okay. This is their truffle fingering weight, and it's merino cashmere nylon. Ooh, fancy. Now I feel like I shouldn't make socks with this. Do y'all make cashmere socks? I don't know. With the light speckle. Oh, it's so pretty and earthy and beautiful and just, oh, so squishy. No, I don't know if I should make socks with it. Maybe I'll make a cowl. Okay. Then I got my Savvy Skeins colorway of the month, which is Queen's Gambit, and it came with a queen stitch marker, a chess piece. I still haven't watched that. It's on Netflix. Yeah, I still haven't watched it. Haven't been in the mood for it. But yeah, it's really pretty. Normally not a color I would pick because I'm not really a pinkish person, but it's like it's burgundy pink. It's not bad. No. Yeah, I would put this in something. Ooh, this would work in one of my fades. A purple fade because it's got a little bit of purple in it. I don't know, whatever. Okay, there's that. And then this was a mistake. Okay, so Junk Yarn. Look at that logo. I'm like jealous of everybody else's logos. Does a monthly, I think it's Esoterica set. Something like that. I'll pop a picture. So I decided to try it out, and I wasn't paying attention when I chose my base. And this is the Tuxedo base, which is the yarn that has the zebra stripe in it. I have a sample skein of this to dye, and I still haven't dyed it yet. But I don't know how this knits up. Like, because I've seen zebra base, I just don't know how it knits up. So maybe it's a happy accident. I don't know. And this is brighter than I expected based on the colorway. This isn't the colorway I expected based on the picture that was on the listing. But it's fine. It's fine. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's just bright. Yellow. Okay. It's bright. But it's nice. It's cute. I don't know. And I have more of these coming, to be honest. But I got one of the Malabrigo sock gradients. My only thing is, I feel like you have to use the entire skein to get the gradient. And you know how I only do like half socks? I don't think that's going to work with this. Will it work if I split the skein? Maybe. I don't know. In my brain, it doesn't work. I don't know how they dyed this, so we'll see. But I got 2 more of these. Simply Socks has them right now, or they did earlier this week. They did on Thursday because that's when they released them to the world. So, and there are 10 different colorways. So I ordered 2 more. And Malabrigo sock is misleading. There is no nylon in this at all. None. Okay. So 100% superwash. All right. And then, you know, you watch some of the podcasters and they have dyers that they tend to frequent, like dyers that they really like and they keep going back to. Frequent. Anyway, I think mine is Yarnaceous. The people that do my, or the lady that does my Jurassic World monthly subscription. I'm obsessed with her yarn right now and I keep buying more of it. I ordered her October Advent. She's got 2. She's got an October Advent that's like, you know, the typical 13 days, which is what I was going to do. So I was going to do 12 minis and then 1 main, but I still playing with ideas in my head. Yeah. And then she's got a Socktober where it's 1 sock set every week of October. So I think there's 5. So that could be something I could do instead. I could do a Socktober set. Not to steal ideas or anything. That's a thought. Then I don't have to come up with like ideas. I still have to come up with ideas, but not as many, you know? Because it's just 5 skeins of yarn instead of like 13 different minis and a skein of yarn. Or 12 minis and a skein. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do sock sets. I don't know. But her Socktober set, you also have the option of getting different types of yarn. Like you could just pick like, you know, fingering or DK or, you know, I think she even has bulky out there. But she also has a set that's just the sock set where you get different bases every week. And I got that one because I figured it would be cool to try, which I will share with you guys. Because like I said, I don't think I'm going to do Christmas Advents this year because I've spent enough money on other stuff. But I might do, like, what's it called? Blogtober? But maybe weekly instead of bi-weekly. I don't think I'm going to do daily again. I don't know, you guys. If I did do it daily, I would just do the unboxings of the Yarnaceous set that I got. I was going to get the, who's my other dyer? Ash&Bumble. I was going to get her, like, Halloween Advent again this year. Last year was Season of the Witch. I think she said so. I think she announced what it was going to be this year, but I can't remember. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to do Halloween Advents this year. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway. Yarnaceous. That's the whole point. Okay. I got Very Bad Idea. I'm going to say, is this from Jurassic? Is this the Jurassic Park 3 or the Lost World set? I think this is the Lost World set that she released because I had to wait a little bit for these. I ordered these a while ago. So yeah, there's this one. This is Birdcage. So pretty. And I got all of these in DK. I'm like obsessed with buying more DK yarn. And this is Rusted Fence, which I really like. It's so shiny. It's almost like there's silk in it, but there's not. So shiny. So yeah, these two go together. It's pretty, right? Yeah, and her 13-day Advent is a fade. So yeah, and I told you guys, like, I'm saving all of my monthly yarn to eventually do a strappy sweater. So I'm saving these too. All of my Yarnaceous yarn I'm like saving, and I'm going to put them all together and then come up with something. I don't know. And I wasn't expecting this, but she threw in another Monster Stitches stitch marker in progress keeper. And I don't know if I mentioned that these are all natural stone. So this one is Azurite and Jasper and Quartz and Aventurine. Aventurine's the green. And lastly, I got these cards because I was knitting that sweater for my cousin that I still haven't picked up. But I figured I should have instructions with it for, you know, people that don't knit, don't always know how to take care of stuff. So this is from Nays Notes, I found her on Etsy, naysnotes.com. And these are just little care instruction cards. But they're personalized. So it's made for you by Tammy. Look at the little sheep. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Okay, so I got these. I didn't buy a ton of them. They come in like different amounts. I just got a small amount because I don't really have anybody I knit for. I really just need one card. But yeah. And now I may not even need that because who knows when I'm going to pick that sweater up again. Okay. That was a lot. That was a lot. I'm done. I'm done. Helen, send me your info and I will mail your stuff. Would you quit? Hi. Hello. Get off my yarn. I'm gonna go. We want to go for a ride because we won't leave me alone. Bye. See you guys 2 weeks.